Say Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahushai, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahushai, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahushai. First and foremost, we want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akiums in the folk and the earth to pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. This evening, coming out of the edition of spiritual food to feed the elect at the Church of Yahushai, which is 144,000, the 1,000 men and children. To reply to these these different religious sects, what come on the Christianity, like Seventh-day Baptist, Pentecostal, Jehovah Witness, different Christianity, Roman Catholic, all these reprobates, who's saying that the epistles that Apostle Paul write to the Corinth, to the Ephesians, to the Romans, to the Galatians, they saying there's actual Gentile, heathen nation, but no, they was Israelites that were dispersed among these Gentiles. Apostle Paul being told, we can prove it through the scriptures, because the scriptures say precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how we can understand that these scriptures are a puzzle, right? Our forefather King David said, through thy precept I get understanding, therefore I hate all false way. So through the precept you get understanding, right? These religious fanatics, they go after the emotion. They want to save these heathen, but you living in these heathen kingdom, these heathen don't give three fuck about you. You understand? So we can go through this precept and we can give understanding to the body of Yahushua, which is the elect, right? And if you claiming that the salvation that the Gentiles receive is the actual Gentile, which is the other heathen nation, you have no understanding the scriptures, because this scripture here is a straight cut, right? And this is current, this is in Greece, right? Apostle Paul went to the Israelites who were dispersed among these heathens, who were living among these heathens, who were acting like these heathens, right? 1 Corinthians 5:1, he said, it is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles. So who's the you Apostle Paul was speaking to? He was speaking to the Israelites. So Apostle Paul said, we find homosexuality among you, lesbianism, idolatry, and adultery, right? You understand? So he said, it is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, which is the Israelite was dispersed among these heathens, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles, which is the heathens, the actual heathen nations. He said that one should have his father's wife. So Apostle Paul was speaking to the Israelites. He said, these things that you are doing is not so much named among the Gentiles, which is the other heathen nation, right? You understand? It's not so much named among the heathens, which is the other heathen nation. So this is a straight cut to you religious fanatics. You understand? Right? Because you want to have the heathen to our heritage, have the heathen to our custom. No. Right? It can't happen. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua not going to allow that to happen. Salakia, let me get John. Right? This is another cut. Right? This is another cut. Right? John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, Jews is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? And this he is Yahushua, who the world is going to call Jesus, right? He said, where I go, he shall not find me. So the Jews them said among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles? Who is the dispersed among the Gentiles? And teach the Gentiles. So there is Gentiles among Gentiles. So who's the dispersed among the Gentiles? Let me go into the word disperse. Right? Let me go into the word disperse. The truth is out there now, but niggas want to remain dumb. So the scripture says, for man want to be ignorant, let them be ignorant. Right? Right, go to the word disperse. Right.
Strong's G1290. Diaspora. Diaspora.
Diaspora is the Greek word for disperse. Diaspora, which is Strong's G1290. Diaspora of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. Let me read this again. It starts at the top. It says a scattering, a dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. Right? So the Israelites were dispersed. Right? The Israelites that were scattered. Right? Is the Israelites were scattered. Let me get this here. Alright, this is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting. Let me go into the word scatter. So the 12 tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered abroad, or were scattered among these heathen. Right? Let me go to the word scatter. Right? Oh boy, the same thing. Strong's G1290. Right?
Strong's G1290. Diaspora.
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 Diaspora is scattering, dispersion of the Israelites, dispersed among the foreign nation. You understand? So it was the Israelites that were dispersed. Right? They were acting like these heathens. And Apostle Paul went to put them in check to let them know they are the Israelites and need to return. They need to repent and turn back to the true custom, the true heritage. They are Israelites. Right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gift, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. So Paul speaking to the Corinthians in Greece, right? He said brethren. Key word is brethren. Now concerning spiritual gift, brethren, I will not have you ignorant. So we all know Paul was an Israelite. Right? Paul was an Israelite. So who is Paul, brethren? Let me get it. Right? Let me get who is Paul, brethren. Right? It's Romans 9. Romans chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were a curse for a Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Let me go into the word kinsmen. This is no edification for the body of Yahweh Shai. Right? Right? Go into the word kinsmen. Right?
Strong's G4773. Sungenes. Sungenes.
So the word kinsmen means sungenes in Greek, which is Strong's G4773. Right? It's of the same kin, a kin to relate by blood, mean family. In a wider sense of the same nation, a fellow countryman. Right? So Paul speaking to his brethren. Right? Paul speaking to his brethren. Let me get this one quick. This is Romans 11:1. I say then, had Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. You understand? It said Yahweh had not cast away his people which he foreknew. What the scripture said of Elias, how he made intercession to Yahweh against Israel's sin? You understand? So, hey, Apostle Paul is an Israelite, and he went to his brethren, right? This is Romans 9 and 3. For I could wish that myself were a curse from a Mashiach, for my brethren Israelite, my kinsmen Israelite, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertained the adoption and the glory and the covenants, both covenants made with the Israelites, the First Testament and the Second Testament, where the covenant means testament, the Old Testament and the New Testament. So both covenant made with the Israelites, right? And the giving of the law, who the law was given to, the Israelites, and the service of the Yahweh, and the promise, who the promise was given to, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, right? You understand? And it was given to Jacob's children, who are Israelites, right? The 12 tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian. Let me go into this word adoption, right? Go into this word adoption, right? Salakia.
Strong's G 5206. Weathesia.
The word adoption in Greek is weathesia. Weathesia, which is Strong's 5206, right? It's that relationship which God was pleased to establish between himself and the Israelite in preference to all other nation. That is a straight cut. So the adoption was with the Israelites, right? And they ain't change. You understand? So who Paul went to in Corinth was the Israelites who were dwelling in Greece, right? So we go back to 1 Corinthians 12:1. Now concerning spiritual gift, brethren, which is the Israelites he was speaking to, who were in a Gentile state of mind, I would not have you ignorant. Me not knowing, you can let you know. He know that he were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols. So who there was before they became Gentiles? They were Israelites. How they became Gentiles? They leave off their custom that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua give to them, which is Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Pentecostal, the Feast of Tabernacle. You understand? The Feast of Dedication, keeping the Sabbaths. You understand? This is the feast that we leave off and follow. Christmas, Valentine, Boxing Day, this Fagat holiday, this Valentine Day, you name it, Women Day, Mother's Day, Father's Days. These are the way the Gentiles worshiping Jesus, Selassie, Allah, worshiping your woman, worshiping nature, all these madness that these Israelites worship. This is how they became Gentile, by walking in the spirit of the Gentiles, following the ways of the Gentiles. This is how they became Gentiles, right? 1 Corinthians 12:2. He know that he were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as he were led. You understand? So they were Israelites that Apostle Paul been to in Corinth, which was Greece, right? So let me go into a little history, right? Let me go into a little history, right? I can show you why they were carried away by dumb idols. Let me get Maccabees, right? We go into a little history, because the Bible is a history book, so you gotta know history, right? You gotta know history. Let me start at verse verse 9. Right? Let me check something quick. Let me just get and show this who they were writing to, right? This is 2 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1. It said, brethren, the Jews that be at Jerusalem and in the land of Judea, wish unto the brethren, the Jews that are throughout Egypt, he said, heal it and peace. So they were speaking to the Israelites, right? So let me go to 2 Maccabees 4 and start from 9. He said, beside this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set up a place for exercise, and he said, and for training up the youths in the fashion of the heathen, and to write them of Jerusalem, which is the Israelite, by the name of Antiochus. And this was the wicked one, Jason, an Israelite, who walk in the way of the heathens, and and brought his people into the custom of the heathens, right? Verse 10, which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to the Greek Greekish fashion. So the Corinthians, they were Greek. They was in Greece, right? The Greeks, right? Verse 11, and the royal privilege granted of a special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador to Rome for enmity and aid, he took away, and pulling down the government which were according to the law, he brought up new custom against the law. And these new custom is Christmas, Valentine, Mother's Day, you name it, Father, the holidays of the world, which is hell days, right? Verse 12, for he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear hats. So wearing hat is a Greek custom. You understand? So this is what this wicked one Jason was doing, which is an Israelite. He walked in the way of the heathens. You understand? Verse 13. He said, now such was the height of Greek fashion. He said, an increase of heathenish manner. He said, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest. He said that the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifice, hastened to be partaker of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise after the game of discus, called them forth. You understand? That's why we see, a lot of Jakes want to be NBA player, football player, you name it, boxing, because that's how they bring up the youths, right? To the Greekish fashion. You understand? Verse 15, not setting by the honor of their father, who's the father? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but likening the glory of the Grecian best of all. He said, by reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies, an avenger who custom they follow so aimlessly, and unto whom they desire to be like in all things. You understand? So what? We started what? The Israelites started walking what? The custom of the heathens. You understand? They started walking the custom of the heathens. Let me get First Maccabees, another quick account, right? To show, hey, these was the Israelites, who started walking the way of the heathens, right? Let me get First Maccabee 1. Let me start from 11. Right, First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. In those days when there out of Israel wicked men, who persuade many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathens that are wrong about us. And these was the Greeks, right? He said, for since we depart from them, we have Salakio. Right? He said, for since we depart from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward hearing, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. You understand? So the Israelites had to follow what the heathen way. They leave off of their custom and start following the Greek custom. You understand? This is what they start doing. Right? Right? He said, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem concerned to the custom of the heathen. He said, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. You understand? And this is what this Israelite did. Right? This is what they did. Let me jump into verse 41. Right? Verse 41, he said, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom, that all should be one people. Let's bring to mind the New World Order. Who was King Antiochus? The so-called white man, right? The Greeks, right? He said, verse 42, and everyone should leave his law. So all the heathen agree according to the commandment of the king. Yea, and many also of the Israelites consent to his religion, and sacrifice unto idols, and profane the Sabbath. So these Israelites became what? Gentiles, right? And this is the same Israelite that Apostle Paul went to, right? You understand? It's just a little bit of history there. You understand? These Israelites are the family where the heathens, right? This is Baruch chapter 4. Let me start from verse 2, right? Um, Let me start from verse 4. The point is in verse 6 and 7. Baruch chapter 4, verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing unto the Most High are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. He was sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because he moved the Most High to wrath, he was delivered unto the enemy. Why? Because they were worshipping idols, right? And the Most High sees a jealous power. And thou shalt have no other God before me. So the Most High judged you for being wicked. The Most High put you in slavery and put his heathen over us to oppress us, right? Verse 7, for he provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto the devil and not unto the Most High. And this is why we became Gentiles. You understand? We forsake our customs that the Heavenly Father gave to us and follow the way the so-called white man. These are the heathen nation, right? It said, verse 8, he have forgotten everlasting power that brought you up, and he have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you. You understand? This is where the Most High bring wrath upon us. You understand? This is where the Most High bring we in slavery, right? So, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akiums in the four corners of the earth who pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom.